My name is Li Fu.
I come from the city of Lukdamschwat.
I came to find better job opportunities to fund my crippling addiction to cheese.
Luckily, I found a job at Jody's Belly Nuts! Where you get some money for serving belly nuts to snails.
Half the time, the snails complain about their food.
When they do this, we insult them.
One day, one of the snails refused to be insulted.
And he slowly ran away.
Ironically, that snail's name was Escar Slow.
And Escar Slow ran slowly right into our snail pot. And I cooked him, 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 and I cooked him.
That's what we do to snails that refuse our insults. And that's when I learned that cooked snails make cheese.
I took the pot to the chef, but not having learned Svatanese yet, the chef thought that I was just giving him a small wheel of cheese with a shell on. He was confused and waved me away.
Which was all the better because I was in the middle of a most distressing cheese craving.
I walked away with the cheese and took a bite.
The chef raised a frying pan, cursed at me in Swatanese, and sprinted towards me.
He threw the frying pan at my head.
And I got knocked out.
I woke up in my home city of Lukdamschwat with a terrible headache and no memory of having traveled.
I was tied to a chair in a dark room.
The door opened, and at first, I thought there was no one there.
Suddenly, the light turned on, and in the doorway, I saw the angriest snail that I've ever seen. The last thing I saw was the snail slowly lunging towards me.
Rotten potato pie pudding.
A bloody corpse on the floor smells like rotting potato pie pudding,
thought the man who was walking through the crime scene.
He then started eating the rotting corpse.
Later at his trial, he explained, I didn't eat the whole rotten corpse, just a tiny bit.
The judges charged the man with eating an entire corpse, even though they had parts of the dead body in a box next to them.
On the drive to the prison, the man told the driver that he nibbled on the corpse because it smelled just like his mammy's potato pie pudding.
That's when the car crashed into a tree and the driver was knocked out.
The man jumped out of the car, ran to the prison, and begged to be let in, only he couldn't remember what he had done.
The guard said,
We don't know you. We don't know you.
We have no proof that you are guilty. You're free to go.
As he was walking away from the prison, he passed the crashed car. Weeks later, the man woke up in the hospital.
The driver of the car was in the bed next to him. He was terribly burned and accused the man of attempted murder.
Actually, the person who attempted to murder you was his evil twin who enjoys blowing up cars,
said the doctor.
The driver did not believe the doctor, and when the doctor left the room, the driver unplugged all the machines that the man was attached to.
Nurses heard the machines beeping and rushed in to see what was wrong.
They plugged in the machines and, in sync, all three of them roundhouse kicked the injured driver.
The man asked the nurses if the driver would be okay, and they replied,
No, we're taking him to the sacrificial pit.
That's when the undeniable smell of rotting potato pie pudding washed over the man.
He followed the smell to a pit that was filled with impaling spikes. The man closed his eyes and jumped.
As he was being impaled, he leaned over and took a bite of a rotting corpse that was hanging from another spike.
The nurses were upset with the man because he was not supposed to be sacrificed, so they climbed down and pulled him off the spike.
They returned him to the hospital room and tried to heal him as best they could, but his stomach and other bits were still left stuck on the spike.
The man became hungry. He ordered some rotten potato pie pudding and promptly died.
Order up! One order rotten potato pie pudding, just like your mammy used to make!